crew's been pretty busy of late.
Perhaps you can join us on the mission for this evening, depending on what your plan is.
Well, watch it on your starboard.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Dauntless! Well, that was a thing. Nailed it. Wow. Baron, do you need repairs or assistance?
I believe we should be alright for the remainder of this short bit of the journey. Apparently some of my crew need to be court-martialed. Sales 50, sales 0, please. Well, we're headed to Anchor's Rest on C3 currently. Believe we're going to be able to meet up with a couple of locals there and also do a bit of trading. And then the goal is to travel around and get ourselves, again, a selection of different resources, so, you know.
But we'll follow you.
Sounds like
What island are you setting course for?
Right now, we're headed for Anchor's Rest. That is the northwestern island in this sector.
Oh, I've heard about that place. Strange folk live there.
So I've heard, although I've also heard that these strange furs possess a courthouse, perhaps for the commander of the Dauntless.
Kif, clear my schedule.
Uh-oh. There's gonna be a hanging. Well, we'll happily follow you in.
Sounds good. We're heading to the north side of Anchor's Rest, so wind seems to be preferable. Let's head on out.
We're set for combat, so we're gonna be a bit slow. Just bear in mind.
All good.
We also have a bear.
We do have a bear. He's the figurehead for the time being until we can find something better. Crew, full sails, please. The further we are away from these lunatics, the better I feel.
Full sails, aye.
Want to buy more sail variety. Yeah, more sail variety where other sails matter. Would be nice. That's what I ask for. It'll come. It'll come. I bet we see a rebalance of sails before we see... There's a port right there. Before we see, like, sail mods start getting really popular. Looks like we're coming... I don't... Is this a port? Following the Royal Fleet in. Small fleet we've got here. We've got the Retribution, the Nemesis, the Dauntless, the Size and everything. The Europa, which I think was already here. Or maybe I just didn't notice it. And then my ship, the Endurance. Attempting to see and make port. Ah, hello, Mr. Marco.
Hello, Shackle.
Yeah, beautiful bastard.
Well, look how much bling I got on this boat, Mackerel. And this is after converting it. I haven't finished painting it again yet.
Yeah,
blingiest
loads
boat.
of sexy colours.
Ooh, music got a lot louder.
I like what you've done with the bridge as well. That's kind of nice.
Oh, I always wear furs. I'm a northerner.
It's offset.
That's what we do.
A tiny bit.
I don't care.
Just enough to see past the.
I'll grab some water. I'll be right back.
Well, welcome to our little free port, little slender company. Very nice to see you all here.
Me to come here myself sometime.
There we go. Hey, we're not dying anymore. Yay!
What's up?
Oh, Bob!
Woohoo!
Greetings.
Would you,
Show a party, let's
would you like
go.
a bit of a tour, or do you just want to wander around, John? It's up to you.
Yes, we have a
Alright,
Wellington
let's,
Fort vessel.
I've never been here. I've never been here. One moment. Pirate radar. Guys hanging out the back of the ship shouting, "Oi, we're over here, assholes." Yes, one moment. That is the best version of pirate radar I've ever heard. Alright, let's go find Mako and the rest of the gang.
Yes, appears I have the
Baron,
space.
I bring you a
Perhaps
detour.
finally sort us out in the lands, Mr. Mackerel.
Aha, yes! I have a section already for Alliances of Ubinus. I will add you in there.
Thank you, Mr.
There
J.
they are.
I appreciate that very
Oh
much.
my god, there's so many ships in this port.
You
So
have an
many
IMSA.
names. There'll be purple sails on the horizon.
Yay! Everything goes blue.
Hard yelling ahead.
Woo!
Ah! Hello, little shack.
Celebratory
Super
pistol
adventure.
fire.
What the? Oh, wow, it was
Is-
deserved.
Is that not how we celebrate a new alliance? With gunpowder?
Sure.
And
Sure.
consumption of alcohol?
Grog is normally my preferred technique, but gunpowder will work. No worries.
To the pub, Kachian, to the pub. Let me take you guys, we'll have a celebratory beer in our pub. Come join me.
Sounds good.
Y'all have a pub? Oh, I'm jealous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't have a pub?
man.
Yeah, have you not noticed yet, Shaq, that overall we're just a bit behind?
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to pick up on that.
These guys
Like,
have
just wander down
overall
this, for
company.
example. Just wander down this. Look what's in front of it. Yeah.
So much more class.
Oh, look at the sign. Oh, look at the sign.
Mind yourself.
Yeah, indeed.
Kachian's just grabbing the beer. We've got our alien. Alien appears to be pole dancing for you guys in here, so.
Don't think that
put a
bear's
little
gonna
poll
fit
up
inside, sir.
Oh my.
Oh. I think you guys might have the best bar we've been to yet. I've been to a fair few
the
bars
Wolf
so
is
far, and this is
Oh, this is nice. This
very
is real nice.
impressive.
Oh yeah.
A meeting of the high companies, and you're like, well, where should we go? It looks like we should go to the bar at Uber Squad and rent their private room.
Our company registration said, you know, we're aiming for a free port, so this entire bar is able to be rented, as is our courthouse, as is got weapon shops and pet stores and everything.
Wait,
is
you rent
available
out
to
your
rent and buy
courthouse?
here.
Oh, I can't feel my beard.
Okay.
Oh no.
A slight tingle in my fingers. I think it's affecting me.
Now the plaques around the wall
Looking
are
brilliant.
showing what had happened
this
on
is
previous trials.
amazing.
Brilliant.
It is regularly used. There are many different punishments we have in Dwarven Justice, from the minute run of Hemi, where we give someone a 1 minute, 10-second start, and we give 4 people a chance to kill them in that in a minute. And if they survive, then they're innocent. Otherwise, sometimes we just go out and hang them and shoot them as well.
Well then, in the interest of justice, first of all, I assume the cage is the witness box.
No, the witness seat is here. That is the accused box. They're not always.
Okay,
called
just
the
checking.
witness.
Just checking.
I
Okay,
was a
can I
witness.
have
Yeah.
anyone willing to, or even happy to represent James
Oh God,
in
James,
the
you're
incident
screwed, mate.
of the
You're
collision?
screwed.
Wow, the silence.
I'll represent.
Okay.
Missed multiple collisions?
Okay, CaptainShack, if you'd like to take the seat
Alright.
for the defense.
This is gonna go as well as the
Don't
units
worry.
trial.
I am your public
And-
defender. I am here for you.
I am more than happy to act as the prosecutor. And I would like to call the ship, the size isn't everything, as the victim of this particular crime.
Here, can you see me over here? Here, I'm sat down up here. God damn it!
Need some railings there.
Ah.
Oh, there you go. That's better. Here, we are gathered here for the trial of James. He is accused of ramming a boat into another boat at high speeds and other things. Who do we have? Hang on. CaptainShack
He
is
is-
defending. And
Ah,
Little
yes,
Waste
Your
of
Honor.
Space is prosecuted.
May I have a moment to
Mr.
confer with
Mr.
my...
Shack,
Sir, may I have a moment to confer with my that him?
you may say again.
Oh, thank you,
You
sir.
may.
Ah, that grog is good. Okay,
And-
so, are you pleading innocent or guilty?
Innocent.
You're defending him.
But
Several
I'm
counts
pretty
of
sure you
ramming,
did it,
actually.
but okay, innocent, you got it. We could try to plead for guilty.
He's so screwed.
It wasn't on purpose.
James, I don't like your
think I need to
chances
drink
in this,
for that
mate.
Your Honor,
be a witness if I
I
can.
conferred, and we're ready to continue. Ladies and gentlemen of the crew, jury. My defendant is obviously innocent of the crime that Baron is levied against him. You see, I will prove that without a shadow of a doubt, the ship did not. Wait, what are the crimes he's against? What is being levied against
He
him?
is accused of the crimes of willfully piloting a ship without due care and attention and causing damage to another vessel. The aforementioned size isn't everything.
I will prove without a doubt that the ship, the size isn't everything. An ill-named and ill-fitting ship for the seas was actually out of control and wildly flopping about the oceans. And my client here was just
Objection.
minding his own business.
Can I get another defendant?
Can he do that? Is there an objection?
He's objecting in your opening speech, apparently. Sure, let's hear your objection. What's the problem?
One that's not drunk.
The defendant is the ship itself. There is no need to personally involve the lawyer acting as the prosecution.
Ah, right. That's
Sorry, I'm just... Carry on, Shaq.
I will prove that what happened. Wait, sir, please wake up. You're snoring. All right, I will prove that he is innocent, Mr. Dreadfire, of these accusations carelessly thrown about. That is all, Your Honor.
Objection.
What is the
Point of
objection?
court. A member of the jury is asleep.
Wake up, jury. Go, go. Poke them with the stick.
to join the jury.
Can we have a replacement jury, please?
If there's a seat left on the jury, then feel free to take it.
Do more.
Whoever's taking it better listen to real close and hard and agree with whatever thing I just said. Just saying. That is all, Your Honor.
You
That
don't
would be my
wanna repeat
opening
it.
statement.
Further
I'm
objections.
repeating it.
The lawyer for the defense appears to be threatening the jury.
He's cutting my hair 0.
Your Honor, I believe that's motivating the jury.
Okay,
Jury has been given a journal.
Mr.
Opening
Wages
speech
Place, would you
for
like
the
to set
defense.
out the prosecution? Would you like to get set?
Well, boys, I'd like to tell you the story of a good ship. Fine jury. The ship, the size isn't everything. She's been a fine vessel. Been around with us since the very early days of this company. And yet, despite the fact that this vessel stands as the flagship of this company, I say that James, willfully and without regard for safety of both the ship and the crew, did pay absolutely no fucking attention to what he was doing and drive straight in the damn side of us and then claimed it was the Blinks. I ask you, who would do such a thing? And to a ship such as that? Who could miss a ship such as that? No one, I say. Now, Judge,
Okay,
may I
so-
call a witness?
Of course you may.
I would like to call CaptainShack.
Uh-oh.
Oh, damn it.
Would you like to take a seat in
Oh,
the
you're
witness
done.
box just below me, Mr. Shack?
Yes, Your Honor. Absolutely. I am Ernest Shack, captain of the Endurance and ARL. Aye.
Thus, expected a responsible individual with high levels of command within this organization, someone to be trusted. So, will you agree with me that you were present at the events today while captaining the ship of the Endurance?
Oh, yes,
So
sir.
you
I
had
saw the
full
whole
sight
thing.
of what took place? Okay then, sir. And would you care to recount briefly for me what happened?
Well, we sailed through a nasty storm, and as the storm broke, we found the Royal the Royal Navy heading it from the south, and we rolled our sails in and turned hard to port. As your fine vessel, your royalness, came into view and approached us, it slowed to a stop, and then all of a sudden, another ship, though I didn't see the identity of such vessel, came blasting through, and there was a horrible crash and a bang, a snapping sound, and a little bit of screaming. And
Well then, and I'm wondering how exactly this particular tale of the events supports your client.
oh, I don't think it really does.
Okay, understood. And just out of interest, Captain, there is a certain, Judge, with your position, I think you're perhaps uniquely available to confirm to this. There is a certain reek of grog in the air.
I did wonder what that whiff was. I just thought it was my socks.
Okay, so while the captain's testimony does seem to support my versions of events, you would perhaps be safe in saying that a man potentially as inebriated as himself might be foolish enough to choose to defend someone that was essentially indefensible. What would be your response to that, Captain?
I object to it. I am not that inebriated. I can indeed feel my beard again.
Well, this is a difficult one for this court to judge because everybody in this dwarven port town is drunk. So it's difficult for us to assess. We don't know how things work in Slender Company.
Well, I would put forward then simply that I believe we have a straight admission from the Chief Defense, no less, that the events took place pretty much exactly as I foretold them. I think that is about as much as I need to interview here. I think the captain has done everything that
Thank you, Mr. Shack. Now, I will give the opportunity for either defense or prosecution.
I think you should give him the opportunity for cross-examination.
If you want to cross-examine, that's fine, but do you wish to call anybody, Mr. Shack?
Oh.
I was more looking forward to cross-examining himself.
I would like to call myself to the stand, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see how this works then. This has not happened before. I put it
The
to
jury
you
wants him to call.
myself.
The jury would like to hear from him.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
Mr. Captain Ernest Shack. Are you or are you not employed and sworn to hold up the laws and opinions and lofty stature of the royal family and the baron?
Objection.
Yes, Your Honor. You amazingly brave and stunningly mutton-chopped endowed individual. I am employed by him, and though I may not be the best to be a witness in this case. Would you perjure yourself, Mr. Captain?
Oh my God!
God damn it.
No, of course not.
I think I had too much to drink.
All right, I think I have nothing further for this witness.
Never happens.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Shack. Thank you. Now, if you would like him to make any closing statements to the jury, feel free. I mean, would you like to begin, Mr. Wason?
The criminal himself already admitted to his crimes. Lawyer, somehow, has managed to as well. This is an unusual precedent we've managed to set in this court today, where both the representative for the defense and the defense themselves are clearly guilty. Now, while I do not expect to deal with this man here in court, who has managed to somehow bring himself into contempt of court despite being the defense lawyer, an impressive feat, I think we should all agree. I think that's something that we can deal with, perhaps within the internal chain of command. Regardless, jury, I think there's little more to say here. Also, if he's been plying with beer, I can promise you that I have much more than he has. And don't forget who's paying you. That'll be my closing statement. Thank you.
Wow!
I object.
What a statement that is.
I
What
object.
would you like
Wait a
to
minute, the jury hasn't been paid.
I object. He doesn't even pay me.
This sounds like
I
something
think tonight
you need to...
we've found a good reason why.
Well, I would like to point out to the court that I believe Mr. James, Mr. Dreadfire, should have the opportunity to defend himself, to at least give his version of events before we come to a conclusion. A man's life is at stake here, and he doesn't pay me either, so this is your one opportunity to, you know, show the man. Stick it to the man. Yeah, we should hear from the defendant before we make our final judgment.
Calling a witness in the closing statement seems highly unusual.
Aye.
We might have balls this up. I'm
Aye.
just saying. I mean, I appreciate you're incredibly drunk, but I mean, Mr. Wasted Space,
It's fair.
will you defer to that?
I will allow this.
Okay, then in that case, Mr. Shack, you may. James, would you like to take the witness stand? And you will
Locked in
be
a cage.
cross-examined. Oh yeah, could someone open the door? Thank you, Stuart.
I think we should put handcuffs on him.
If you would like to begin, we'll start with Mr. Wasted Space, as this was your folly that we're having to do this, Shack, so I'm afraid you will go second.
That's absolutely fair.
Well then, Mr. James. A few questions, if you will. Obviously, you are indeed James Dreadfire, the captain of the Dauntless?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the captain of the ship that collided with us earlier. You do agree that you collided with us earlier?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, so having submitted an innocent plea, you are in fact agreeing to being guilty. Roger, I understand completely. However, let us perhaps look for some mitigating factors. Now, I would ask you, do you have any pets of any sort?
If
Please
I
don't
may,
involve
Mr.
us in
Wasted
this.
Space. You may. James, please be aware that perjury on our land is punishable immediately by death.
Okay, and that pet wolf, can you just confirm for me that over the last few nights it has been seen in the crow's nests of ships, it has been seen charging people from behind, it has generally been seen what I guess you might call larking about?
Maybe.
So one might draw an assumption from that you have a bit of a propensity for larking about and perhaps being a little loose with behaviour.
Try my best.
Oh, understood. Understood, sir. I'm sure we all do. I just wish to confirm that you are someone that has a bit of a history for this sort of thing, and on top of that, perhaps I would put forward that the excuse of the blinks is perhaps not enough. This is an excuse I put forward that is unacceptable. This man here has been willfully disregarding his duty to safely drive his vessel, and the result was the collision you saw tonight.
I've
He
got to
said
do
it
my
himself.
duty, Lord Breeze.
A propensity for larking around, likes to have fun, likes to mess around on ships, and he tried his best. I think not. The man himself reeks of booze. I put it to you all, this man is guilty of being in control of a vessel that he should not have been.
Hey, I got
Mr.
my
Shack.
booze here.
Please cross-examine. He's got his booze there. Good to know. Well then, off you go, Mr. Shack.
No,
Maybe,
Mr. Shack.
maybe you can
I got
ask
my
for a
drink
little sip.
at the bar.
Mr. Shack, would you like to cross-examine? Wasted Space seems to think he's the judge.
I got drunk at the
Carry
bar.
on, Shack.
No, I'm the shit.
I apologize, mate.
The first question that I
So
have for
I-
you, and probably one of the most important, is how would you rate the booze that you had this fine evening from the fine folks like the judge behind you? Answer truthfully.
You're going to get me killed, aren't you?
Sir, your fate is in
the
your
judge
hands.
hasn't got his gun out at the moment, I promise.
It was good.
You needed to convince the jury, and mainly the judge on that one. I gave you 3 out of 5 on that one. So, Mr. James.
Since I made the beer.
Please, tell us what happened in your own words on that fateful, early evening. Or was it a day? I think it was a day.
It was coming up on night.
All right, tell us about that.
I was sailing my ship. One moment I was approaching, the next I was turning a lot further than I intended to and hit the ship near me.
Well.
Go well. Just sit down, Jack. Don't bother.
Just kill me now.
The defense
is hopeless.
Rests and expects a hangover in the morning.
This concludes the trial. You will be asked individually in turn. Do you consider James to be guilty of the heinous crime of badly controlling a boat and generally being slapdash? Mr. Dewey?
Slapdash.
Guilty or not
Guilty
guilty?
is charged.
Okay. Mr. Russ?
Oh, guilty, hang him.
Try on.
Not guilty by reason of poor defendant.
That's a fair call.
That's fair.
Alien?
Oh no.
Kachian?
Guilty.
Well,
I knew it.
James, you have been found guilty. Now, I will say this. There seems to be some mitigating circumstances whereby the defence lawyer is absolutely off his tits. I appreciate that he hasn't exactly afforded you the greatest level of defence in this courtroom. If anything, he's made himself more guilty than you. However, I will say that crashing into your flagship, even coming out of a storm,
man.
is not exactly the greatest thing to do. Now, I have noted during this proceedings that your wharf is quite important. So, my sentence is twofold. Firstly, we will have a minute's run of Heme. Secondly, you will acquire for your company 3 wolves. As you love wolves so much, you should make sure that other people are able to enjoy them as well. And hopefully in the patient... But you can find
Objection.
someone that can.
In the failure to tame, I believe this man should be hanged.
Well, the minute's run of Hemi is negotiable.
A quick death is what he deserves. Although,
yes,
a minute's run of Hemi is intriguing, Judge. This is not a custom we have in our territories. Please do explain.
Then let us compromise by doing both, because effectively there are 2 sentences, as I say. What will happen is this: if you could release James from the cabinet, please, Stuart. Everybody, come to the centre of the courtroom, please, away from the door. The door will open. The door will open.
What is going on?
And he will have 10 seconds to run and hide. When the door opens the second time, all of you will have 1 minute to find him, 1 minute only. And if someone can shoot him in that time, he is clearly guilty and will be hanged afterwards. However,
Your Honor, I don't have a gun.
You can punch him.
Oh, I've got
You
one
can borrow
for
mine.
you to try on.
Rules are this, James, that when you go and find somewhere to hide, you cannot move from there. You cannot just disappear off and sail your ship away. You must take this punishment. If he is not found and killed within that minute, he will be deemed innocent, and no more punishment will happen.
I'm not on trial. I don't need to run.
Okay, that's a fair
defender.
compromise
I'm a public
with the
defender.
Slender. If that's agreeable to you, Mr. Wasted Space, if he's found
If
and
those are your customers, then that is how we will operate.
That seems
we
fair.
will also hang
you're
him
up.
afterwards. 1, 2, 3,
No.
4, 5,
I like this.
6,
Baron.
7,
Me too.
8, 9, 10. Charge!
Get them, boys.
What was the
Don't
monkey
blind
thing?
jamming each other in the door, one at a time.
I mean, for the hunters, like.
There it is.
Success?
No, someone got him.
Distributing at least swift justice when necessary.
Ah, fair enough.
That's where the red from the shield comes from. Oh, my nose.
Short and swift donk brings them back in line.
I shall give you and Shaq maybe a little bit of a brief tour of what else is available here for later when the free pool gets finished up.
Good day,
There you
back
go.
Uber Squad, you guys are amazing.
Happy travel, Shaq.
Plenty of feet.
Take care, guys. Have fun.
Good day, Uber and Macor.
Remember,
Take
this day
care.
is the day I learned I'm an amazing lawyer.
I wouldn't go that far, Cap.
Amazing.